pretty much. So let's get into it. We dropped the intro.
I wonder, can you save me? Illuminati want my mind, soul, and my body. God, I wonder, can you save me? Secret society, trying to keep the God, I wonder, can you save me? Illuminati want my mind, soul, and my body. God, I wonder, can you save me? I can't die.
Yeah.
That fire, that intro is fire.
It's nice, huh? Yeah.
That should be stuck in my head.
Yeah.
Illuminati in my mind, soul, and my body.
1,000 years. Marriage wasn't a church ceremony for 1,000 years. The church made it a sacrament in 1215 to control property and inheritance. For the first millennium of Christianity, marriage was a private family contract with no church involvement. Couples exchanged vows before witnesses, families negotiated dowries, and that was it. No priest, no ceremony, no church blessing required. But by the Middle Ages, nobles and wealthy families were transferring massive amounts of property through marriage, and the church wanted control over that wealth. At the Fourth Lateran Council in 1215, the Catholic Church officially declared marriage a sacrament that required a priest and church ceremony to be valid. Why? Control and money. If marriage had to happen in the church could regulate who married whom, control inheritance through legitimacy rules, and charge fees for ceremonies. They could also annul marriages for a price, helping wealthy families rearrange alliances. For 1,000 years, Christians got married without the church. Then suddenly the church inserted itself into every marriage and convinced people it was always required. Follow for more sacraments the church invented to increase their power. Marriage.
When you go down the aisle of a church, you say you're getting married. You know that aisle. That aisle, or if a church has a center aisle, that is the fallopian tube, the birth canal, right? And then when you get to the pulpit, that's the womb, the sanctum sanctorum, known as the Holy of Holies. Now the white boy switched this up. In marriage, he has the woman coming down the aisle. But the sperm, a woman doesn't come down the aisle. A woman is the womb. So in actuality, he's supposed to have the man coming down the aisle in marriage, because the man symbolizes the penis and the sperm travels up the fallopian tube, right? The birth canal. Not the woman traveling up, because the woman has a womb. How the hell she gonna need to travel up to her own womb? You see what I'm saying? So they switched this thing around. In actuality, the man is supposed to be led up that aisle, not the woman. You see. One other key thing we need to do when we have African weddings, we need to lead this thing up, lead the man up the aisle.
Covered in chapters 6 through 36 of Book 1. The account of the fallen angels from Genesis 6 to 4 is told in the book The Watcher. Fallen angels married women, formed the Nephilim, and taught humanity superior technologies, which finally caused the Great Flood and their demise.
Yo, I don't mean to cut that off, but it's said to married women, but I searched everywhere in the Bible, and it doesn't really speak anything about marriage. It speaks about men taking wives. It doesn't speak anything about ceremonies and marriages as a contract, and that's what's kind of funny. Other than them, every religion keeping the Book of Enoch out of their Bible, but that's kind of funny. Marriage is funny, but you hear it being mentioned that these fallen angels came down and married women. I'll proceed.
The term Nephilim refers to the fallen one, and they are characterized as enormous creatures similar to giants. The link between the Nephilim and the sons of God has been interpreted in various ways. Some people believe that the Nephilim are the descendants that fallen angels had with human women. This idea was explained.
YouTube, yeah. What it do? Shout out to everybody out there on code, staying on code, standing on business, okay, FBA business. But I'm gonna hit y'all with another, I was gonna make this one long, but I broke it up into two. Right? You think about church, life, death, birth, all that shit. You get to thinking about weddings. Depending on what you mean, wedding intersects with masonry in two very distinct ways. As a specialized fraternal ceremony in Freemasonry or mason jars, right? So, Freemason offers specific ceremonies for marriage. They have Masonic weddings, spousal recognition ceremonies, introduce a new wife to a fraternity. Why people use mason jars at weddings, I don't know. Okay. But when you think about it, and I don't mean well, shit. I guess I do. The ceremony, any ceremonial ritual, kind of is going to tie back into some type of Masonic situation, right? But think about it. The groom usually wears black, bride wears white. You've got veils. We all know about lifting the veil, behind the veil. It's kind of like a Masonic setup with the best men and the ring bearers and the flower girl. It's all, I mean, clearly. Now, not these Masonic weddings, right? I'm saying just even down to the black and white, right? People are having weddings at Masonic temples, right? A lot of people don't get married, so they don't know that, but a lot of people have marriages at Masonic temples. Let's see if we got any images. Okay, well, we got Masons getting married, but that's not what I mean, right? I mean, the ceremony is, occultic, rings, ring bearers, all these positions and titles sound like Master Mason and Archery of Treachery and all that bullshit. Let's see. You say you hit the nail on the head. From veils to bridesmaid squads, almost every major custom actually originated as a form of ancient sympathetic magic designed to ward off evil spirits, ensure fertility, or hide the bride from bad luck. Right? Walk with me. Many common traditions rooted in ancient supernatural esoteric practices. Bridesmaids in veils, ancient Rome. Bridesmaids dressed exactly like the bride to act as decoy and confuse evil spirits. The veil was also used to hide the bride from wicked forces. Who knew? The wedding ring, the unbroken circle, represents eternity and draws inspiration from ancient Egypt symbols and the Ouroboros. The best man was historically the best fighter, originally recruited to help guard the bride to ensure rival tribes didn't kidnap her. Hand fasting, often practiced in pagan, Wiccan, and witchcraft ceremonies. This is a unity ritual. This unity and ritual involves physically binding the couple's hand together with ribbon or cord to represent their union. Something old, something new. This rhyme relies on the sympathetic magic, where wearing an item from a happily married woman was believed to transfer her luck and fortune to the new bride. Okay, they give us some, oh, damn. We thought they gave us some shit. But anyway, they said the strange rituals, the occult truth behind weddings. Why they don't let us, we can't read it? Let's put it. We'll get back to that. But, let's see what else we got. 5 wedding traditions Christians didn't realize come from what? Traditions that trace back to witchcraft, demonic rituals, and pagan ceremonies. 6 unbiblical wedding rituals. 5 low-key witchy wedding rituals. Right? I didn't even know we were going to go down this rabbit hole. I was just saying it was a Masonic ceremony. The occult truth behind weddings. It's funny, on the Reddit occult page, they got my what's true about marriage. So it's funny they talk about the busy witch. I remember we was talking about jumping the broom. Often called jumping the besom, a traditional wedding ritual where a couple jumps over the broomstick, widely known as African American cultural heritage. Yada yada yada. Pagan and Celtic roots, the ritual traces back to pre-Christian Celtic and Roma, often referred to as gypsy communities in Great Britain, particularly in Wales, because Roma marriages were frequently not recognized by the Catholic Church. Couples would engage in a bedsome wedding or a broom wedding, where jumping over the broom formalized the union. Okay, of course, the broom is a tool traditionally associated with home, hearth, and protection. Incorporated with modern hand fasting or pagan wedding ceremonies, the rituals carry specific esoteric symbolism. Leap of faith, energy clearing, hand fasting, integration. Okay, so, jumping the broom, form of witchcraft, and hand fasting ceremonies. Okay. We can click on that right quick. Let's see what they got to say. Well, they're giving us a bunch of stuff we're not going to read, but you see the picture. So they're giving us a little occult breakdown. And we can all kind of tell there was some occult undertones here, if you're familiar with the occult. But I'm saying with the masonry, in certain jurisdictions in Brazil and Turkey, lodges hold Masonic marital recognition. Nah, they ain't giving me what I want. Okay, but I'm telling you, between the duality of the black and white, like the black and white checkerboard, the tower cake with the emblems on it, like this whole shit is like some type of initiation ritual. Like when you go become a Mason, you gotta fake die and be born again. Like, I don't know, the shit just jumps out at me. Arches, you got to go underneath the arch and shit. And I can't really find nothing that the Masonic meaning of marriage. So maybe this one ain't gonna come with the Google. See the checkerboard floor right there in the background. But maybe this one ain't gonna come with the Google layout, right? You're gonna have to kind of dig deep. You're gonna have to kind of see through the matrix with this one. But between the black and white, the ring, the positions held, the veil, the whole ceremony is ritualistically Masonic. Cold-blooded fact. But you know, I ain't gonna hold y'all for a long time. Just a good time. You know, man, do the right thing, man. Help a brother out. HBO special. Like, share, and subscribe. You know, man, stay on code out there, man, at all times. 365 days out the year. I'm out.